Today we're going to learn how to make calamari and shrimp ceviche. We're going to use 1 pound of calamari and 1 pound of shrimp. And then we're going to go ahead and make our ceviche marinade for this. We're using a half a cup of fresh satsuma juice off my trees in the yard. We're going to use about a half a box of grape tomatoes, which we're going to chop up. Half a large purple onion, which we're going to chop up real finely. Squeeze 3 limes into the juice. Chop up 1 or 2 jalapenos, however spicy we want it. Chop up some garlic into it. Use avocado. Add some salt to it. And, of course, cannot forget the cilantro. I got 1 pound of calamari and 1 pound of shrimp. So now I'm going to let it finish thawing and then we're going to boil it. I'm now boiling water because I'm going to cook the calamari. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to it. And now I'm going to put that calamari into this boiling water. And we're going to let the calamari boil for approximately 45 minutes. If it's longer, it's okay. But if you don't boil it for a good long time, the calamari is going to be tough and chewy. So you want to boil it minimum of 30 minutes, but I usually do around 45 minutes. And so it's nice and tender when you eat it. All right, it is boiling. We've put a lid on it and turned down the temperature so it doesn't boil over, and we'll let this boil for about 45 minutes. For peeling the shrimp, I like to use this toadfish shrimp peeler. It does have a pretty sharp point on it right there, a little knife on it, so do be careful not to cut yourself on it. For some of the bigger shrimp that are in here before I boil it, I come back and cut them in half lengthwise. So that way, when you eat it, they're not huge pieces. When I eat any calamari, shrimp, or fish from Mobile Bay, I always make sure it is fully cooked. So this is not a raw ceviche. All right, we have now boiled the squid for about 45 minutes. And we are now going to add the shrimp to this. And we're only going to boil the shrimp for about 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to wait for it to come back to a boil here. And then take it off. It's now boiled for about 3 minutes. So I'm going to pull this off. And we're going to drain the fluid and let it cool down before we add it to our ceviche mix that we made earlier. So the reason we add the olive oil to it, it keeps it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. There we go. Now we're going to give this a little while to cool down. All right, so the shrimp and calamari is now cooled down, and we are going to add it to our ceviche mix that we made earlier this morning. We're going to add it to this, but it still needs to marinate. So we are going to add this to it and mix it in and let it marinate for at least 2 to 4 hours so it absorbs the juices into the seafood. Alright. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to put the lid on and put it back in the fridge. Alright, time to try the ceviche. Let's put it on a chip, tortilla chip. That is delicious. Y'all enjoy.